Gamers! I'm running out of ways to introduce these videos because I've made so many and I simply have no idea what else to say. Basically, if you're looking for build ideas, you've come to the right video. Also, I'll just quickly mention that all of these builds are available to download over on my Patreon, so check that out if you're interested. Alright, and without wasting any more time, let's get into the first build. First up, we're taking a look at this stone quarry build, which is actually quite an old build now. I think this was built maybe in like 2020. So yeah, a lot of things can definitely be improved with this build. As you can see, there's blocks of TNT everywhere, which is from the Stay True texture pack that I used to use. It would turn those TNT blocks into like these crates, which was pretty cool. And yeah, so this build pretty much just consists of like a bunch of little decorations around the place, which definitely could be improved as they're just kind of randomly scattered around. We've got this little hut in the back here that has like, I don't know, just some random storage and stuff. I think there was item frames here at one point. I'm not sure where they went. Then off to the right here, we have some piles of ore, some piles of stone, and also the big, of course, like main crane thing here, which I do really like the design of this. And so for this video, I just decided to go ahead and upgrade this build to how I would make it in like the current day, I guess. And as you can see, I've changed a lot of stuff. So the whole background here has a lot more like liveliness to it. We've got a bunch of leaves, vines, and glowberries, mate. What the hell am I on? We've added in this nice little waterfall over here that comes down to this pond, and we have like these little cracks in the ground where it kind of spreads from. I really like the way that looks. We've also utilized that. Actually, no, we haven't. Oh, I thought I added it over here as well. My bad. Instead of just like one block of like detail around the place, like a chest and then like some freaking logs. Well, okay, we have it over here, but just don't worry about that. We've kind of like made these like bigger piles of detail. Like we have these like storage piles over here. I keep saying like too much. It's honestly, man, my vocabulary actually sucks. I say chuck in and I say like a lot, and it's just, I don't know how to fix it, guys. Help me. And yeah, as you can see, I didn't actually do anything to the hole. There's still TNT blocks down here, but yeah, I probably could have actually done a little bit more down there, but yeah. Next up, we're taking a look at some mineshaft designs, with the first one here being the first medieval themed one. So we have these pretty intricate pillars around the place with a whole bunch of details. We've got like a nice little archway here, which probably could be improved by adding a trapdoor there. That definitely looks a lot nicer. We could also probably add some in there if this lantern wasn't there, but yeah, that looks pretty cool. I mean, it looks cool without it as well. And so we have these alternating lanterns that kind of switch sides between each pillar, which looks really cool in my opinion. We've got a whole bunch of buttons around the place that kind of look like little stones. This one doesn't really make sense to me. I like them being on the ground. We've also utilized adding stairs and slabs in the ground to look like cracks that have kind of formed over time or whatever. I don't know. And yeah, that pretty much does it for this first mine shaft. For the next one, we have a more of a Japanese kind of themed one. Japanese being it's using acacia wood and prismarine blocks. I don't really know what else other than that makes it Japanese themed, but yeah, it's definitely a really nice block palette. I really love the way it looks. Although this does look a little bit weird. It'd probably look better like that. Although, I don't know. Honestly, it looks kind of weird both ways, to be honest. But yeah, if you're into the Japanese themed kind of architecture, this is definitely a really nice place to start. For the next mineshaft build, we have a more of a natural or like kind of overgrown version. As you can see, our rails are all broken up, so you can't really use the rails. It's mainly just decoration for this one. We've added grass and bushes everywhere. Some of the cracks are filled with water as well, which is a really nice effect that I love utilizing. The walls have all been like kind of broken. They have chunks taken out of them. There's like big natural pillars on the sides here. And yeah, this is probably my favorite one out of the four. Speaking of the fourth one, let's go to it now. And so for the fourth one, we have another medieval themed one. This one's a bit more of a, like a darker medieval one, mainly because it's using dark oak logs. But yeah, we have a bit of a different pillar design for this one. They're not actually connected, and they're kind of like sprawling out as if they're like holding up the ceiling. We have like a bit of a storage pile slash furnace crafting station. Actually, there isn't a crafting table, so it's not really a crafting station, but yeah. And we also have this nice little minecart like stop thing here, which you can flick this lever as well if you wanted to send it back out this way, out to nowhere. For the next build, we have this super detailed pirate-themed cliff design. This one was actually created with a retired builder now. His name was Ritz Builds. He was a very good builder. He added a whole bunch of detail to this that I never would have even thought to do, like this nice like giant pillar over here and these little smaller ones around the place with skulls on top of them. Over here, we've got like a couple of shipwreck and like just pieces of wood and stuff, and it kind of sprawls out really far out into the ocean out here. Then for the actual cliff part over here, we actually have a waterfall that starts up here and it comes down here and branches off to the left and right and then down into a pond below. This was pretty much my whole idea for the start of this build. I just randomly came up with the idea for a cliff that has like an opening here and it has a waterfall kind of parting ways on either side of it, and it definitely looks really cool in my opinion. And if we head on inside here, we've got some long lost treasure. Man, look at those shaders. That looks so good. Definitely check out my video here if you want to get your Minecraft looking this cool. Next up, we have an iceberg base, which is something that I have not made in a long time. This is definitely a very old build. As you can see, the front entrance here here is a little bit whack. We also have this really cool original design that I came up with. We'll actually be showcasing a couple more of these later in the video, and this is a boat rack design. It's just like a weird little extra detail that I thought was like a cool idea, I guess, and it looks pretty cool. And yeah, so heading on inside, we can take a look, and as you can see, we have a pretty spread out base design over here. So to the left here, we have our enchanting area. I just need to make sure this reaches level 30 because I really hate when it doesn't. Yes, it does. Okay, we're all good. Back over to the right over here, we have our storage area, which I admit could be a little bit better. No one really wants to use this. You can't even open half of them, man. What's going on with this? But yeah, this could definitely be improved. We've got a big main pillar in the center of the base, which looks really cool. It branches off to the left and over this way as well, as if it's like supporting the iceberg above. Over this way, we have our smelting area, which has a nice little extra detail behind it. It looks like it's like kind of smoking and going up, you know, up the chimney. We've even added it in over this side as well. Then over to the left here, we have our main crafting area with a little bit of extra storage. Probably more storage than what is actually in our storage area over here. As we come up the staircase over here to the top area, we have this really cool like feature picture frame wall thing. This is definitely a way better idea in my head. It didn't turn out as well as I wanted just because you can't really get the slopes really that smooth. And then as we head upstairs over here, we have our just pretty much our bedroom. There's nothing really too much else up here. We just got like a massive empty area. We also have this cool little staircase balcony thing over here as well. Next up, we have this semi-automatic wheat farm design, which I designed to look a little bit cooler than it would just normally, you know? I've like kind of added some decorations around the outside, like a fence, and just added a whole bunch of details to it. And yeah, the way this works is we just press this button right here. It'll activate all of the dispensers at the back, send all of the crops down into the hoppers and into the chest over here. This could definitely be a little bit cheaper if we just had a water block here that pushed down into one hopper and then down into the chest, but yeah, I just went all out with this one, you know? But yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a tutorial for this on my channel if you wanted to build this for yourself. I mean, it's pretty easy. It's just like this frame. We've got a redstone line that heads to all of these dispensers at the back, and that's pretty much it. Next up, we have the upgraded version of a semi-automatic wheat farm. As you can see, this one is a massive tower kind of build. It's infinitely expandable. You can go up as high as you want to go. And I will just say this build has a full tutorial video on my channel, so if you wanted to build this monstrosity for yourself, be sure to check that out. But yeah, this build is pretty old, so forgive me for that. It does look kind of weird, but I spent a long time coming up with the designs for the sides of these because it is modular. So each floor here is repeatable upwards as far as you want to go. But yeah, let's just go ahead and take a look inside already. So we have our like main chute here that sprawls across every single floor. So when you activate the pistons over here, they'll release the water. The crops will get sent down these waterways down into the central area and down into our sorting area, which I'll get to in a minute. These levers here are how you activate each side, but before we do that, we'll just head up and take a look at the actual floor. So as you can see, we can enter into the floors here. I've actually only got this one planted at the moment, and this is how the system works. So we just have like a redstone torch kind of elevator thing that branches off into a redstone dust over here, which will then release this piston and release the water down and harvest everything. And then we just have a couple of floors, just the exact design repeated. And yeah, so now we can flick this lever, quickly try and head over here and watch it as it gets harvested and gets sent down the chute into the hopper. And now you can hear a ticking below, which means the item sorter is doing its magic. So we can head on inside here, drink a little bit of night vision. And in here, as you can see, here is our item sorter. So all of the items are getting sent down this hopper into this dropper. They go across this water and then through these things. I don't know exactly how this works. It's kind of like weird to set up. But yeah, basically all the seeds will go into this hopper and then down this way into this storage. And then all of the wheat will go into this hopper and then onto the other side. So as you can see, it'll go all the way down into this bottom chest, which is where all of our seeds are. And then this one is where all of our wheat is. And this is infinitely expandable as well. You can keep going down as far as you want to go. And yeah, definitely a really cool, like over-engineered semi-automatic wheat farm. Next up, we're taking a quick look at a couple of bedroom designs. Please forgive me for the weird lighting as well. I have a night vision potion on and we have a giant platform above me. This is just like another one of my building platforms. Yeah, just in case you wanted to know. So for this first bedroom design, we have a bit of a two-player bedroom design. So instead of bunking right together, we've actually got you guys separated so you can't do any funny business. We've got a personal storage barrel for each player and also their own little lantern as well. This would probably look better without all this stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it there because I like having my builds as they were, you know? And then off to the left and right, we also have our own personal storage chests and barrels up here as well, and a little bit of a plant just for some decoration. For the next bedroom design, we have another two-player one, but this time it is more of a bunk bed style. So as you can see, the second player can head up the ladder here to the top bunk, and the first player can just, you know, right click this bed. To the right here, we have a little cute chest over here, and also a bit of a reading thing over on this side. For the next bedroom, we have a single player bedroom, and this one I kind of made to look like one of those like bed frame things. I don't really know what they're called, but yeah, you kind of get what I'm talking about, you know? Kind of like this enclosed design. It makes you feel nice and cozy. And then for the final one, we just have a nice simplistic one. We've got a bed in front of a window here with a couple of barrels in this nice little like roofed section. You could even extend this out one more block if you kind of wanted to do a similar version of the one that I just showcased. And I feel this would look pretty cool as well. You might have to figure out some like kind of support system, but yeah. Next up, we're taking a look at 4 different well designs of increasing size, starting off, of course, at the smallest design. This was pretty hard to come up with as I really just wanted this to be like a 3x3 design. So as you can see, we have a little log here that supports our chain, which theoretically would go a little bit deeper than that. You could also put a cauldron below this if you wanted to have a bit of a bucket, although it would take up the entire area, so it might look a bit weird. And yeah, so we've got this nice little roof here. I really love the way this looks, how it exposes this log here by changing the central block here to a slab instead of a stair. And then to get a bit more of a rounded look to this at the base, we have gone with some stone walls and then some stone bricks and like alternated between those. As opposed to just having stone bricks everywhere, it just looks really chunky. And yeah, so just doing that makes it look better. For the next size up, we actually have still a 3x3 design, but this one's a little bit taller, and we have a bit of a different design as well. So we've actually got some logs on the base here, and then on top of those, we have our walls and our fences. We have the same roof design, the same log thing, and yeah. For the next size up, we have changed it up once again, so we have a bit of a different roof style. As you can see, yeah, this used to be like my signature roof design. I don't know why I liked it so much. We kind of like start off with this little roof, and then it like kind of transitions out to a bigger one, and then back to a little roof. It can look cool, but definitely looks a little bit strange sometimes, but I really like it for this build. So yeah, because we have a bit of a bigger area here, we can add in some extra details like a grindstone holding the chain. Also, we have our cauldron as well, and a fence gate that actually lets us walk inside too. And now for the final and biggest design, we once again have a, yeah, I mean, it's bigger and it's taller. So instead of just transitioning from fences to the roof, we've gone from fences back to stone walls, then to the roof. We have a completely different style roof to all of them as well. We have a bit more of like a gazebo or like circular one or something like that. We've added in these nice hanging lanterns, and yeah. I'd have to say, out of all of them, this one's definitely my favorite. It looks really nice. Next up, we're taking a look at this waterfall upgrade. Unfortunately, I can't really showcase the before, except for this picture here. As you can see, it's just a pretty standard, boring, vanilla waterfall, and we just upgraded it. So we added a whole bunch of definitely unneeded texture to the wall here. I probably wouldn't do this in the present day. But yeah, so this waterfall, we honestly haven't really upgraded the waterfall that much. It's more of like a river upgrade. So yeah, we've added a whole bunch of leaves around the place, sugar canes and flowers and stuff. And then in the water, we've added stones everywhere, a whole bunch of seagrass, even some leaves in the water. And we also added this little house over here just for the hell of it as well. Next up, we're taking a look at 4 different boat rack designs. So yeah, this is the thing that I explained in the iceberg base. And we just have a couple of standalone designs. They are very old and could use a little bit of updating. I mean, they're a little bit plain, but it's definitely a really cool idea. For the next one, we have one that's more of like meant to be inside of a shop or something. This is definitely a really nice detail to add to like a dock kind of store, like a fishing store or something like that. You could maybe only have like 1 shelf or 2 shelves and maybe some barrels on the top. It would definitely look really nice. For the third boat rack design, we actually have one that's a little bit messed up. I'm not sure what's going on here. These are meant to be in the middle. I just thought I'd show whatever the hell happened here. And yeah, that's kind of the issue with these. Sometimes you can't really get the boats in anymore. They did some kind of like update to the boat placement. It does work for these ones, but sometimes when you have stuff on top of them, it doesn't really work. I actually messed this up. You're supposed to start all the way at the bottom. But yeah, like that. You used to be able to place them here, but you can't now. Oh, never mind. I'm brain dead. What the hell? So yeah, that's how it's supposed to look. Definitely a really cool like lakeside design. It kind of looks like some kayaks or like a kayak holding thing, something like that. Yeah. And for the final boat rack, we have one that's actually added into the front of a house here, and just kind of looks like a holder, I guess, for like some kayaks or some boats or something like that. Definitely a really nice addition to your house if you can't think of a like wall idea or anything like that. Definitely a really unique design. Next up, we're taking a look at 4 levels of a sugarcane farm design, with the first one here obviously being level 1. It's just a simple sugarcane thing next to some water. That's how you harvest it. That's it. Level 2 is where we've advanced to a bit more of a field kind of design. This is definitely very good for a starter farm in a survival world or anything like that. It's nice and easy to set up, and it's nice and easy to harvest as well, although it can be a little bit time consuming. And that's where level 3 comes into play. As you can see, we have a fully automatic sugarcane farm for this one. So I'll just showcase how this works. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone knows how this works, but yeah, as the sugarcane grows in front of this observer, it gets harvested, pushed down into the water, into the hopper, and into the chest. Now, the cool thing about these is they're infinitely expandable. You can go as far left as you want. You can repeat this design backwards if you want to. And that's where level 4 comes into play, which is, yeah, it's this massive build here, which also has a full tutorial video on my channel, so be sure to check that out if you want. The cool thing about these as well is it also works for bamboo, so if you want to harvest a whole bunch of bamboo for some reason, then you can do that. But yeah, so this one we have beautified. It's also 2 sugarcane farms in one. We have a system through this door here. As you can see, we have a minecart with a hopper that constantly goes back and forth, picking up all the harvested sugarcane or bamboo on this side and also on this side as well. And all of it gets sent down into this chest right here. For the next 4 designs, we're taking a look at a couple of weird and wacky walls that I have created. Do you mind, brother? Can you get out of the shot? What the hell? So for the first one, we have an Egyptian or desert... Are you good? Yeah, that's what I thought. Get the hell away. So yeah, if you have like a desert village or something like that and you need a wall design, this is definitely a really cool and wacky, unique wall for that. It's also very expensive. We've got a whole bunch of emerald blocks in these, but you could also just replace that with some green concrete or some green wall. Also, some lapis blocks would look really cool in there too. They're a little bit cheaper as well, but yeah, that can definitely work as well. For the next wall, we actually have a palisade wall design. So as you can see, we have these main pillars at the back here, and then they alternate in heights and also in like depth. So they go from the back to the front, then to the back again. We've also added these fences above. You could chuck some torches on top of all of these or on a couple of these just to light up the area as well. And we've also added this nice little bracing design down here. So we alternate between stairs and then trapdoors. And we also have signs as well. And it just looks like it's supporting the whole structure a little bit better. And yeah, it's definitely a really nice and easy wall design to add like around a village or something like that. If you just want to get a quick wall set up that also looks really cool. For the next wall, we actually have a medieval wall. And yeah, I'm sorry how these are all floating. Just don't worry about that. But yeah, so for this one, we have these pillars on the outside here, and then on the back area, we have our actual main wall. I must admit, this wall does look a little bit weird. The pillars here are a little bit like too skinny for my liking. It probably would look a lot better like this. Yeah, that looks a whole lot better in my opinion, but I mean, to each their own. And for the final wall, we have this completely natural wall design. So this one would definitely be a bit of a pain in the ass to set up. As you can see, we just have like a whole bunch of custom tree designs, although you could just plant some saplings and add some extra leaves on, but it will definitely look a lot nicer with some custom trees. So yeah, if you want to build this one, you're definitely in for the long haul. And to make this into an actual wall, so like mobs and stuff can't actually pass through, is we've added in a whole bunch of extra leaves down here and some fences as well. And something really cool I love about this is that we've instead used spruce leaves down below here to kind of separate these leaves from the leaves of the trees. It would definitely just be way too many oak leaves if they were oak leaves down here. So I just really love the way that this looks. And then for some added detail, we've added in some trapdoors above some of these fences, some actual fence gates as well. And also some extinguished campfires, which might look like some fallen logs or some sticks or something like that. And so that just about does it for all of the builds I wanted to showcase. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.